In the German movie Natürlich die Autofahrer from 1959, Heinz Erhardt plays the traffic policeman Dobermann, who finds pleasure in handing out tickets, even to his principal, who later orders him to his office asking for absolution. Dobermann proudly refuses by insisting on the constitutional law. Right before this scene, he even collects a fine from the woman he loves, and is hereby proving that in his role as a policeman, he is no longer a man with a self-consistency, but rather a detached entity acting on order in which no human feeling may disturb. Yesterday, I picked up a new book I ordered around the corner, where I unpacked it, put the wrapping in the bin, and started reading while walking. I was immediately drawn to the way the novel opens. While it's blatantly referring to itself and the characters were descriptively introduced, I wonder how self-referential something can be nowadays, without repeating a postmodern cliché. And I thought to see something brilliantly done, using clear informational language. Unknowingly, I was reading the foreword. It shook me when I reached the first chapter, noticing the novel had a very different way of telling. It was impossible for me to go back and read the foreword the same way I did the first time. I often read in the subway. But when the train is fairly empty, somebody plunges down next to me and starts speaking to himself. After freezing for a moment, he abruptly erects in a quick movement, slings both hands to the head, twitches and starts mumbling again. While reading my book next to him, obviously blacked out in his world, I pretend our worlds will never collide. I see ghosts or reflections in the dark window showing someone grinning. Who is this and why does he look so happy? This happens sometimes. You read and your mind shifts away into fantasies, altered memories that never existed before. Silent fears appear and you feel lucky to be hidden behind the book. A relation of unrelatedness. Then I spend my time mindlessly refreshing websites to feel passively connected, but instead I find myself contemplating that all social media was hijacked by tons of clickbait and self-discovery guides. Very much everything feels generic. At a bakery nearby my Parkside apartment, I sensed a moment of awareness when a woman struggled with a bike on one hand and an empty cup to return on the other. Wordlessly, I reached my hand and offered to return the cup for her. She gave me the cup and left. The very same day, a boy was obviously sent to buy missing groceries at a local store. He missed 8 cents for some extra candy, which I handed wordlessly to the cashier. Usually, I feel very tense at the checkout, especially after I dropped a bottle of champagne a week before, completely wetting another man's shoes. I left without a word. Later, I might understand what Zizek holds affirmatively to alienation, which is constitutive of the public sphere, a place in which you are not allowed to be yourself, in which your conduct is guided by civility, not authenticity. My neighborhood has almost no streetlights, only my local Späti transmitting bright fluorescent light, catching the humming night crawlers. A man at the window charges his phone, the cashier kneels on the ground stacking cigarettes, and a woman stares in a paper cup while the radio plays Wonderful Life. And I am in that tiny little spot of light in which the lost souls gather for the lowest possible contact and least indication for life, the reassurance that you're not alone. I bought 3 beer. There's a Pepsi Cola spot I know from a Vaporwave video which ends with a man and a woman that both run into a Späti wanting to buy the last Pepsi. Instantly, they get most romantically connected and leave in the steamy streets of a lively world. But it's not on me to speak honestly.